Welcome to Point Break. This is our sports program that we have occasionally on no set schedule. Just whenever we have something sports related we like to talk about. I'm your host for today, Jeremy Vogt, and I'm here with the Neepawa Titans head coach and general manager, Ken Pearson.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Yeah. So this past year, the Titans have had 32 wins, third in their division, and made the playoffs for the second year in a row. So congratulations on a successful season. And what are your thoughts on the season so far?
Yeah, I think that our season was as expected for the most part. We kind of hovered around that just above 500 mark for the better part of the till Christmas time, and then after Christmas we kind of took a next step and maybe played a little bit more consistent. Saw the wins come a little bit more in the second half, but I think overall we're real happy with the way things went on the ice, and real happy with the way things have been going on off the ice.
Yeah. So this is your sixth season with the team. And during that time, there have been quite a few changes. Well, the team changed its name, and also we went through shutdowns due to COVID, especially the 2020 season that never really got off the ground. How have things changed since you've been here?
Well, I think the league as a whole has changed in the number of teams that are now in the league, with the addition of the Niverville and the Winnipeg Freeze, and the OCN Blizzard has changed to the Northern Blizzard now and play out of the PAW. And then just I think this last year the NCAA made the changes with allowing Western Hockey League or major junior players the opportunity to now pursue education in the States. So I think that's going to be a challenge and something that we're going to see over the next couple seasons here before how it plays out and how it really affects everyone, and that's going to be one of the biggest challenges, I think, now, to make sure that we maintain a good product here in Neepawa on the ice, with being able to still recruit the right players to come in here and make us successful. And this is going to be the first off season where we've players that you thought maybe were committed to your program now are going to go to the Western Hockey League because they have that opportunity, with not being at a disadvantage, or not a disadvantage I guess, but being ineligible to go to the NCAA Division I to play. So that's going to be a bit of a juggling act for the first little bit of the season. But I think all in all, it's good to give the players those options, and as organizations, it's going to force us to up our game.
So what are the changes that have been made in regards to the eligibility?
Yeah. So previously, a player had to decide if he was going to go the major junior route, which is the Brandon Wheat Kings and such, or if they were going to go the NCAA route, University of North Dakota. You'd have to make a decision on what you're going to do. And if you decided to go to the Western Hockey League, then you were ineligible to participate on a scholarship or whatnot at the NCAA Division I level. Now, players are able to take that option of going to the Western Hockey League, playing some games, and trying to get a scholarship that way. And if it doesn't work out for them and they do play 5, 10, 100 games there, they can still come back and play Junior A hockey and still be eligible to get a scholarship to go down south.
How do you think that would affect the Titans relative to other teams in the league?
Yeah, I don't know that that's still a wait and see. I mean, our league itself also made a change in we no longer have an MJHL band draft or a 15-year-old draft. So everything now is more wide open, kind of like the college recruiting, where you have to go out and try and find the best players and get them committed to your program right then and there for the following season and seasons. Whereas before with the draft, you draft players that have pretty much committed to you verbally. So you draft those guys with the hopes that they're going to be able to play for your team the following year or as 18-year-olds. And I think that's going to be a bit of a challenge for us. No more than some of the other teams in our division, but it will be a little bit of a challenge for us as an organization to bring in the top end guys to our hockey club.
Yeah. So without the draft, do you have an idea of who's coming down the pipeline and like prospects you're looking at for coming seasons?
Yeah. So we won't really be affected this coming season because we still will have our players that were born in 2008 from our draft that will be 17 years old and able to step into our program either this fall or the next year. It's the 2 and 3 years down the road that you're looking at right now, and that's the 2009 and 2010 born kids, and so we're having a camp in April that is open for kids born from 2007 to 2010. That we will have a camp for those players to identify and to track those guys over the next year and a bit, and to determine which guys we feel would be a good fit for the Neepawa Titans.
And looking a bit closer to the present and the near future, the Titans are in the playoffs this year, and they will be playing against Northern Manitoba Blizzard. And how do you think the two teams compare? What are you expecting from this matchup?
Yeah, I think we're both very similar in ways. Both hardworking teams. With the one thing with the Blizzard and we are too is they're very structured. They have good goaltending and they've got a couple of guys up front that have really led their team offensively in Bouvier and Cyprien, McNeil. So we're gonna have our challenges. They've got good depth up front. They've got good depth on the back end. Some of the challenges that we're gonna face that we are gonna have with them is just the other series is because of distance. They're gonna do a 1-1 scenario. So one game in their rink and another game in the home team rink. For us, it's gonna be 2 games in the PAW and then 2 games in Neepawa. Add in the travel of 600 kilometers or 550 kilometers or whatever it is one way, on the bus. So that's going to be a bit of a challenge for both teams, making sure that teams are rested on the days off, they're hydrating properly, getting the attention that they need off the ice as they prepare for what I think is going to be a long series.
Yeah, so I did notice the schedule for the Titans and Blizzard playoff series is different from the others. Instead of having 1 day in between each game, you basically have 2 back-to-backs to start off with 2 days in between. And I assume that's to do with the logistics of travel. There will be additional expenses involved. So what are some of the challenges and additional expenses associated with playing this series compared to one with shorter travel?
Yeah, so if we were to play Wayway or Dauphin or Verdun, obviously we would go to their rink that night, come back home, have a day off, practice at home, play the home game. With the Blizzard series, obviously we're going to have the extra hotel rooms booked in there, the extra meals for going on the road. When you play a Wayway Dauphin series, the time that we leave, guys are able to have guys are able to have their pregame meals at home and then get on the bus and then go play the game. Whereas, just for example, on Friday we're gonna leave Friday morning, get to the hotel. Guys will have a pregame meal at the hotel. We'll go to the game, and then we'll have a postgame meal. Saturday we'll have breakfast, a pregame meal, and a postgame meal too. So, that's some of the additional expenses is the meals in the hotels and of course overnight travel with the bus. But it's part of the division that we're in. It's part of getting to the playoffs and making this far. It's good to make the playoffs. The longer you play, the better it is for the players and the community. But there's also additional expenses that come with the longer that you play. You gotta buy more sticks. You gotta buy more tape. You gotta buy more ice time. So it's like I said, great to make the playoffs, but there is the other side of it that we got to make sure that we are able to get our expenses paid for at the same time.
Yeah. So how do the expenses compare to the revenue you would get for the at least 2 home playoff games we have?
Well, I mean, obviously the biggest thing is for us in this round is having to stay the night. With games 1 and 2, you get into games 5, 6, and 7. You're driving up there and you're coming home because you're just playing the one game. So there's not as many expenses. And we hope that we can fill the arena on our home games on Tuesday and Wednesday, and that will go a long way in helping us and make sure that we get our expenses looked after.
So, what is the effect of travel on players? Considering we have 2 back-to-back games while the other playoff series don't, is it easier to play the next day when you're already there, or to have a day off with travel in between?
Yeah, I think that the guys would prefer, obviously, to have a day in between games. I mean, come playoffs, it's always a lot more physical, and obviously in this series, you got your travel that you got to add into that. But I think the first part of the schedule with the first 4 games, we play the games back to back, and we got a day off and a day of travel built in there. So you got the 2 days to recover for games 3 and 4. So I think that and we are, knock on wood, a healthy group here right now. So I think the longer the series goes, the team that uses the rest and is able to rest and hydrate and make sure mentally that they're resting as well, is the team that's going to be probably the most successful.
Have you looked at far ahead to next year yet?
Well, I mean, as a coach right now, my focus as a coach right now is on this series with the Blizzard, but wearing the general manager's hat. Obviously, yes, we're still recruiting and scouting players for next year, and that's something that's always an ongoing thing. You want to make sure that you've always got. You don't want to leave the cupboard bare coming back in September, and I think that we've got the possibility of having a real good group return and have some real good recruits that have committed to our program for the 25-26 season.
Yeah, the thing with junior is that you always have the 20-year-old players graduating each season, so it's always good to see as you follow certain players as they come in and they gradually fill those roles that were taken by the older players, right. and then the cycle continues.
The cycle continues, and that's what junior hockey is, Jeremy. It's players, you hope that they come and play for your program for 2-3 years, and then they're able to move on to college or university. And And with the changing of the rules when COVID hit, you went from having 22 or 23 players on your roster. Now you're able to have 25. So that helps a little bit with the roster composition and roster changes, where maybe you're able to keep a few kids around a little bit longer, and maybe guys that are just on that cusp of being able to play junior, that if you can keep them around and have them practice every day with you, and be around the guys every day and get them into as many games as possible. Those extra guys will helps them, and it also helps push guys in practice, because they're able to be a little bit fresher. For us right now, we've got our regular guys, plus we've got some AP kids that are with us right now. So it helps keeps the reps down maybe a little bit in practice, but it also keeps guys a lot fresher for practice and obviously for games, which is something that we feel is going to be important. If a guy's a little bit nicked up maybe in the playoffs and maybe needs a day off at practice, well, it's not like we'll be going down to 15 guys in practice. We're still going to be able to have 21, 22 guys at practice and be able to still push the guys that need to be pushed to prepare them for the game the next day or the following day.
Are there any moments that stood out for you in past season?
Obviously there's the start of the season. That home opener. It's always nice to play that first game at home. And I think that we had some very physical, emotional games throughout the year, both at home and on the road. I don't think there's really one that really stands out for us, or for myself. Maybe that clinching game where we knew that we'd made the playoffs this year, and that's always exciting when you are able to put yourself in that position, by winning an opportunity to play in the final 8 in your league champ playoffs, and and I think that the next special moment is kind of that first game at home again come playoffs. I know last year, the crowd that we had and in the 3 games that we played at home, they just got better and better, and to see people travel on the road to Verdun last year and on their own or on the bus, I think that was those are special moments throughout the year that kind of stick out for me. Anything else
You want to talk about while you have the chance?
Yeah, I just you talk about the season itself. It's been the regular season's been very good. We had some really good support right from our the businesses in Neepawa and in the surrounding communities. The businesses and the schools and some of the other clubs in town that allowed our players the opportunity to come in, and volunteer their time with them. I think is something that we've done a real good job of and continue to do a real good job of, and we're grateful that those people continue to have us back year after year. I think without that support, it makes it real tough to have a junior club, and I think that being one of the smaller communities in the league, I think that we get tremendous support, and just hope that support can continue in the playoffs and for the years to come.
Okay, well, thanks for joining us today, and good luck in the playoffs.
Thank you, Jeremy. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. So this has been Point Break with Neepawa Titans head coach and general manager Ken Pearson. I'm your host, Jeremy Vogt, and thanks for watching.